Hello, friends. We're back again. It's Joel Pearl at Fightful.com. Don't pay any attention to the microphone I'm holding because the man holding the other microphone is much more interesting. Evil Uno is with me. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm riding a hell of a high, so I'm doing good.
As you should be. We're actually here at Mystery Wrestling. We just did Mystery Wrestling 7, the 7th show. Did you think that we would be on this high of Mystery Wrestling so far?
Like when I started, I just assumed we'd keep doing it until either I would run out of money or until something stupid on my show would cancel all shows entirely. I'm not surprised we're at 7. I think I'm more surprised by how well it's been going. It's kind of been it's been building up steam over show and over show. We're selling out our venues. We're getting 1,500 to 2,000 viewers live. So it's been going very, very well. And I only have bigger surprises in store for the next few ones. So.
Well, there you go. We were treated tonight to a plethora of AEW and Ring of Honor stars. Dalton Castle was in the main event. Thunder Rosa surprised everybody in a 4-way women's match. Daniel Garcia came out, had a wonderful match. Let's just break this down. Are you just reaching out? Or are you just asking them, hey, you want to do the show?
Yeah, I reach out myself this is a venture that has my name attached to it, and so I go at the forefront. And I ask my friends or people that I've met through I have 20 years of experience, so I've networked a long time and met a lot of people. And I don't want to say I'm on. I know what people like in wrestling, but I know what I like in wrestling, and so I try to aim for people that I think are very good and will supply great professional wrestling. And I also do take into question how surprised people would be to see certain people in a small bingo hall in Gatineau, Quebec, Canada.
Yeah, and on top of that, you present wrestling. Mystery Wrestling is presented in very different ways than I've seen other wrestling presentations, whether it be in an arena setting, if it's in a bingo hall, if it's in a church basement, whatever it is. There always seems to be a more different approach. And when I say that, I want you to expand on this. The idea that every match is giving you something different, but not just something different, almost an extreme variation of something different, whether it's comedy, drama, acting, whatever. Talk to me about your kind of process to get to that spot.
Yeah, so I mean, Mystery Wrestling, at its very heart, is about two things. It's about surprises and it's about giving you great professional wrestling. The surprises tell themselves. They're all about the big names, getting Daniel Garcia, who's one of the hottest names at this current moment, and putting him in front of this crowd. It will elicit a reaction. So it is a bit calculated. But a lot of what I do, I try to run shows that go within 2 hours. This was my longest show because I booked one match more than I should have. I try to keep it 60 minutes, 6 matches, 90 minutes. It's a sweet spot for me. I just think you give people too much wrestling and you will not get your fan to come back. So I try to aim for a short show. And the way I do it is I like all wrestling. I like variety. And so why give them one taste when you can give them a buffet? And I try to pick and choose the best of everything. When I wanted to showcase wrestling from Mexico, lucha style, I found a luchador, Gravity, and I got Gringo Loco, who's the best base in wrestling. When I want to show Joshi Pro Wrestling, I got Maki Ito and Emi Sakura. Psycho Mike will be on every show forever because he's what I think is mystery. He's subverting the tropes of pro wrestling in a comedic setting and within a ring. And so I try to always aim for doing things different, for also showcasing a lot of Canadians because they don't have the same platform as a lot of other people, and so I try to mix the big surprises of elsewhere, but also some of the best pro wrestlers from around here who may not get those opportunities. And that's at the very end. The most simplistic way is this is a buffet. I want everyone to enjoy it. If you like one type of wrestling, we're probably going to hammer on it at some point. If you don't like the other type of wrestling, it's fine. Wait by next match. It will switch around.
So let's move on and let's talk a little bit about where we are. We're in Gatineau, Quebec. We're also in Ottawa, where AEW Collision was filmed the night before. And of course, Ring of Honor. And
yes,
you were a big part of the marketing and the promotion behind Ottawa. How important is it for you as an AEW wrestler to be coming home and doing all of this kind of promotional work with AEW?
So to me, I mean, it's a double. There's two reasons why it happens. One, I still live in the region, right? It's been 36 years that I've lived in Gatineau. I sport Gatineau and Ottawa, and I champion the cities as much as I can. And so, of course, if you're coming to my city, I think it makes no sense to give it to someone else. Now, of course, if Chris Jericho could do all that media, you should have Chris Jericho do it. But I'm local. It will cost less for me to do, and also I don't think anyone will have the pride of being here as much as I do. So to me, it was really cool. I got to do a lot of the radio channels I've spent the last decade listening to, and a lot of like the morning TV shows that I have spent watching as well. So this little media tour is very cool for me, and I'm hoping it will reflect in those auto shows as well.
You're a very important figure in wrestling, especially to us Canadians. Have you ever won a watch from TSN 1200?
Have I ever
won a watch?
I have not.
I have.
Really?
Yeah. You remember talking about call-in shows? And
yes.
So I used to listen to the post-Sens game shows. And when I was 13 years old, they were giving away the Jubilee Jewelers. They used to give away the watches, and I won. So I just want to say, I've got one on Evil Uno. That's just the one.
You've won. I just did their radio interview this week.
So there you go, on TSN 1200. Okay. So last night, this will probably drop after Ring of Honor has also dropped, and we've done our post show. Of course, Kate and Reg do that. But off air, you had your moment. You got to talk to the crowd in Ottawa, and also you had Adam Copeland come out and do a little something with everybody. What was that moment to you? How did that feel?
It's pretty unreal. In one way, it would have been completely one of the largest moments of my life if I had just ended my match, addressed the crowd, my hometown. I was mentioning this to a lot of people in the backstage, but like having that match was important to me. But at one point, I took I went to the top rope and I looked to the outside while taunting. And then I realized that of the 2,000 people that are still around, I knew maybe 1,500 of them. It made me realize that like our wrestling scene has supported me for the last 20 years. And they really, really did support me yesterday at Ring of Honor. And then really, Adam Copeland was like a cherry on top. I was indicated that Adam Copeland would be doing something with me shortly before, and I didn't think it's kind of weird. It didn't set in, and also when they told me I didn't really get the weight of it until it happened. So at one point it all happened. I shook hands with him, and that's kind of the point of realization. That was like, I'm in the ring with someone I spent most of my life looking up to, who is a Canadian wrestling legend, and we're sharing the ring. It's not like I was invited in. I'm now essentially an equal, and it kind of like it all weighed in at that time. And I will genuinely never forget my night in Ottawa for sure.
So before we wrap up, and you get to tell us all about Mystery Wrestling, where you can find it, where you can find yourself.
Of course.
You are the booker. You are the man behind Mystery Wrestling.
Yes.
You get one match anytime, any place, any wrestler from any time. Who do you pick? And what's the match?
So here's the issue: is if I tell you these matches, I can't book them.
Well, I mean, they can be people that don't exist anymore. They can be people who have left us on a plane.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to gear it towards that because all of my dream matches will happen. That's okay. The crazy part.
Okay.
Let's do Brent Shawn again, right? I don't care if you're in your 50s or 60s. Let's just do it again.
Okay.
Let's do it right here in little Gatineau, Quebec, Canada, in front of 200 people, 250. Don't tell the fire code marshals. And let's settle it in Canada. That's what I would like to do.
Brett and Sean 2 in this room. Let's go. Let's put over Mystery Wrestling real quick, shall we?
Sure. Mystery Wrestling, you can watch live, twitch.tv/eviluno, my personal page. There's a lot of ways you can support. If you just give that a follow, you'll be notified about when our next show is. If you follow on any of my social medias, Evil Uno anywhere, I will advertise the next one. But if you really want to support us, the best way to do so is watch our previous shows. We have 3-tiered system on Patreon. Patreon.com/mystery or mysterywrestling.com. That's the easiest one. Go for that. Tier 1, you can watch all of our mystery wrestling shows. We've had 7. If you've watched one, all of them are that good. And Tier 2, we give you the dark match that's exclusive for the crowd. We give you some backstage photography. We produce French shows here, not in this venue, but in the region. So all of my French produced shows are on there as well. So if you are into the Canadian talent that you've seen on our shows. They are featured a whole lot on those shows. And at tier 3, and this is the one I suggest to everyone, we get every single person that's on that show to sign a print that is exclusive. There's only 50 of them, and they only go to tier 3 subscriptions. Once they're gone, they're gone. And for me, it helps us finance our shows. It helps us get our large guests. And I don't think you'll ever get a chance to get 30 people of that caliber on one poster for the price we offer. So that is my suggestion to you if you really want to support MysteryWrestling.com and get yourself on that Patreon list.
The one and only Evil Uno from AEW, of course. I am Actual Pearl, JOELPEARL. Ladies and gentlemen, friends beyond the binary. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.
I'm traveling a lot, and when you travel, you got to protect your data. You got to protect your privacy online. NordVPN.com/Fightful allows me to do that, allows me to browse safely and securely. When you go to an airport, when you go to an arena, a restaurant, a hotel, you're usually connecting to that unsecured Wi-Fi, which leaves you susceptible to having your data stolen, any number of things taken from your private connection, or what should be your private connection. NordVPN.com/Fightful makes it a private connection with the fastest VPN in the world, a 30-day money-back guarantee, and a ton of other features in addition to that peace of mind that you get when you can browse safely and securely. And I'm talking all your devices: Surface Pro, laptop, desktop, PC, smart TV, router, phone, whatever you're taking with you. NordVPN.com/Fightful will add extra layers of security to your digital life. You can get a password manager, a file encryption tool. Be safe, be smart. NordVPN.com/Fightful.